Hello friends, my name is Chrissy. Welcome to or back to my channel. And today we're exploring more of the Connect and Collect series that I'm working through to show you how I connect with the decks in my collection and not give any sort of buffer around admitting that I have a collection, but it doesn't have to be one or the other. We can connect and collect. So you may catch me looking at my watch here and there. My camera, my phone has been cranky today, and there's been twice that I thought it was recording and it just randomly stopped. So I don't want to waste my time. So I will be making sure that that we are in fact recording. So today we're continuing my exploration of the Terra Volatile. This deck has been from the intro reading, this deck has it kind of has it out for me. So today what we're going to do, what I'm going to talk you through, is something I'm calling tarot superlatives for now, recognizing that this may not be the term that I keep because it's not quite the perfect word, because I think about superlatives, you know, from high school being most likely to, where this is just a card that reminds me the most of a person, of a personal archetype, not a big you know, worldly archetype, but a person that would actually exist, that I would actually interact with. So it's more personalities than superlatives, but I think it kind of works. So there may be a time when I relabel this video or add a different hashtag to it as I continue to distill this into what I really want it to be called. But I didn't want to wait until I had creative momentum, so here we are. So the first card is the card that reminds me of myself, and I chose the Princess of Cups. The reason, honestly, she's chunky and she's wearing gray and blue. I would be lying if I said there was more to it than that. Yeah, she looks like she's listening. She's got her feelings under control. She's letting some of them out and up, some of them out and down. She has hair like I had before I cut it. She reminds me of me because she's chunky and she's wearing gray and blue, and that is basically Chrissy in a nutshell, if you wanted to know about me. So the second card that I brought in today is the card that knows all the gossip, the card that spills all the tea. You know, the person that if you run into them in the hallway, whether that's work, I'm going back to high school for this, but you know, work works as well. The person that you know is going to have all the gossip, all the best news, and there's just something in her expression that it has this energy of this isn't all legit, right? Some of this may end up being untrue. Some of this you may have to unlearn. If you repeat this may not fly. And I think that is so interesting with it being the Six of Cups, and how we have this impression a lot of times with this card that it's all about nostalgia, and it's about who we used to be and who we how we grew up and the fond memories of that. And I feel like this image has this reminder that there are things we're going to have to unlearn, and there are things from our childhood, no matter how idyllic, that aren't necessarily true or dependable. So here, the Six of Cups is the figure in this deck that that spills all the tea, that knows all the gossip. And then the next card, the next little superlative that I wanted to share, is the best friend, the card that makes me smile, the card that I want to be around, that I want to learn from. This is the energy that I want driving around late on a Friday night, that's what we all did in the late 90s, right? We just got in our car and drove around until we were out of things to say. That's what I did anyway. But this energy, this is the Empress here, between her facial expression being, she's listening, she just seems to be invested and present, and she's someone that I would want to be my best friend. And next, friends, we have the Frenemy. The keep your friends close and your enemies closer. There's something about this Three of Swords that just totally has me curious. Like, I want to know more about her. A lot of the Three of Swords has this energy of like, I want to run away, I want to get away from it, I want to stay away from it. But she really has me in this place of like, I'm enthralled. Like, I want to know about these thorns, and I want to know about these tears, and I want to know what is so poking at her. There's a very Rayanne Graff energy about this Three of Swords to me. There's like, I'm curious and I can't look away, but I don't know that that this energy is completely trustworthy. I love this card. So the Frenemy of the deck is the Three of Swords. Now, for the next card, we have the annoying one. The one that makes me roll my eyes. The one that when I see them coming in the hallway, there's that, oh, here we go. And that is Prudence. Prudence is the alternate card in this deck for the Hangman. And, you know, I'm recording this 2 weeks or so into my practice with this deck. And this card has my number. This card comes up, it has come up in multiple spreads. I've done maybe, let's say 6, 7 draws with this deck, and this card has been in at least 4 of them. It comes up as the anchor card, comes up as the what to be aware of. It is just following me around. And like, even though I know that it probably has something important to teach me, the fact that it's just like in my face all the time, I'm just kind of tired of it. So, and I really think that the expression on the right figure's face really plays into that. There's this, ugh, I'm over it. So this card is the annoying one, the one that I roll my eyes at, and that obviously is kind of rolling its eyes at me too. So the next card is what I'm calling the Jordan Catilano card. I guess it's obvious that I'm rewatching My So-Called Life, right? This is the card that intrigues me. This is the Enigma. This is the card that I want to know everything about and just like crawl into and become. Because there's so much fascination in this card. There's so much possibility. We don't know like how hard the path has been to get to this point. We don't know what the figure's plan is moving forward. This Three of Wands fascinates me, like holds me captive in a way that I don't know any other Three of Wands has. Or that any other card in the deck does. And I think there's something too about like coming up on this figure from behind and not them not knowing that I'm here, them not having an awareness of my presence, that I think also adds to this enigmatic type of relationship with this card. And I am so curious. Like I want to blow this up and like somehow spread it out and it be the background of my computer. I could stare at this card all day, and I don't know why. I'm not typically like this major Three of Wands connection person, but this card is enigmatic to me. It fascinates me. I could watch him lean. I have the cards above me, by the way. Um, so next is the card that has too many questions, the one that's too nosy, the one who you can never satisfy. And that energy to me is the High Priestess. I mean, it feels, and part of that is like the visual here, and I just feel like she's reading my book. She's got it, she's reading it. The facial expression here is like, Chrissy, are you sure? Are you being honest with me here? What are you denying that would be good for you? What are you clinging to that isn't? What do you... I have a very interesting relationship with the High Priestess in general, and for me, she typically shows up as a who were you before the world told you who to be type energy. I don't know why I said that, why I said like type energy. That's what she brings to me. That is her confrontation to and of me. And she asks too many questions that she already knows the answers to. The High Priestess is the nosy one. Then the bully of the deck, the one that I hide from, the one that I just want to put back in the deck when I pull it, that's the Pope. That's the Hierophant. This was the first card I pulled from the deck. When my first shuffle, and I did my intro spread, and my question was, you know, my 3 questions in an intro spread is how you think of yourself, how you think of me, and how we're going to work together. And how this deck thinks of itself as the Pope. It has all the answers. I'm not needed. The deck has all the answers. And that's bullying behavior. as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. That card is in this deck. And it's funny because again, this deck is so different. Typically, like, the Hierophant is one of the cards that I connect with strongest and easiest and like can really pull myself into. But the Hierophant here, the Pope here, is very, very bully, very confrontational. And then finally, we have the popular kid. We have the stereotype. And for this, I chose the Two of Swords. And the way I took this was thinking about which card in the deck is like the most stereotypical representation of the way the entire deck lays. So like, for example, thinking about, you know, how like Zach Morris is like the popular kid, the most stereotypical Bayside student. I feel like this Two of Wands is the most stereotypical representation of this entire deck. This is the attitude. You got to go in, you got to get quiet, you got to protect yourself and your space in order to hear what I have to tell you. So there's a lot of the popular kid, the stereotypical card within the deck. I've decided not to talk about that one, and I've already talked about both of those. So this is my deck superlatives. Let's call them card superlatives, so you know I'm talking about cards and not a deck, for the Terra Volatile. Myself, the Nosey One, my best friend, my frenemy, the one I hide from in the hallway, the one I want to learn everything about, the one that's nosy, the bully, and the popular kid. If you enjoyed this, if you want to see more of these, let me know. This was a lot of fun for me, knowing that from deck to deck, the superlatives may change. Like, there's a few, like, I don't have like a love interest per se in this deck that I might in other decks. I don't have, there's a lot of personality types that I can think of from both my experience in high school in the 90s and the Saved by the Bell / my so-called life, which I'm obviously into. That's where my brain is today. So yeah, I don't know that these will stay the same as I go from deck to deck, as I work through connecting with my collection, but I feel like this was a good place to start. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was curious and interesting to you. I hope that you can see these sort of personalities, this sort of energies in a deck or multiple decks that you are looking to connect with. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time.